It's Tuesday, which means we got to take a look at the waiver wire. We're going to take an extensive look at the running backs today to see which ones you need to pick up, which ones you just need to think about or watch from afar, which ones are best for deeper leagues. But we're going to go deep on them running backs right now. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now because we're looking at the waiver wire every day. We're deep diving the trending players every day, as many players as possible. We're using these videos to help you set your lineups by going over the matchups. Click that button. Stop missing out. First player we're looking at right now, Sincere McCormick. 41 snaps last week. We're getting to work. We're getting the volume. We're getting the opportunity, which is a good thing here. And on top of that, back-to-back weeks of some production. Looking all right in the box score. And they should work with him. They should allow him to run for the back half of the season. The other running backs, it's not like they've been undeniable. You still want to watch that. Still, this is a waiver wire running back. What are you going to be expecting? The top running backs were picked up last week. They're gone. They're zapped. And we have not had that many injuries at the running back position. You're just going to have to take what you're going to get off the waiver wire. Sincere McCormick, most leagues should have already been picked up. But I see the numbers up there. Starting 12% of leagues. Roster in 18% of leagues on Sleeper. That being said, Sincere McCormick is a good pickup for this week if you're looking for something off the waiver wire. Isaiah Davis is going to be a trendy pickup this week. He got some work last week sharing the backfield with Braylon Allen. We're watching Breece Hall. Breece Hall could be back sooner than later, but he is getting work. He is sharing the backfield. A very good running back prospect in this year's draft, and the Jets didn't need to draft him so much. They had Izzy, they had Braylon Allen, they had Breece Hall. But he was so good. He fell in the draft. Such a discount they picked him up. He's been getting work sprinkled in throughout the season. And the fact that we were getting touches in week 13 and 14 is an indicator that they're going to use two running backs in this backfield. For fantasy production, it's not going to be trustworthy week to week, but if you need the touches, you need to work, you need to shoot on the game script. Isaiah Davis is a running back to throw in. He's a guy to have stashed just in case if you're looking for a running back. On top of that, the good running backs from last week got zapped off the waiver wire, should have been picked up, and you're not looking at much this week that's competing for touches. Isaiah Davis could be the next guy to look at just to see. You pick up, you bench, you see if he's getting touches. Maybe you use him against the Rams later. Maybe you use him against Jacksonville. We got a juicy matchup in week 15. Maybe you do that. Really depends on your situation. But Isaiah Davis, for a rookie running back, has some goods to his game and is getting some workload. Tank Bigsby. I've said this in every waiver wire video, but he's like the Quentin Johnston of running backs. He'll make you cry on the bench. He'll make you cry in your lineup. You do not know when he's going to hit, but he will have games where he will hit in your lineup and do some things for you. Tank Bigsby has some upside week to week, but the downside is massively low. You got the Jets coming up. Those are always weird game scripts. You got the Raiders on the road. That's a good matchup for running backs. You got Tennessee, which is an iffy matchup. And then if you're playing still, you got the Colts on the road. So if you need touches and snaps right now for a running back, sure. He's not a must start, must pick up, but he's a guy that probably just needs to be sitting on the bench somewhere on somebody's fantasy team in your league, not doing anything but watched from afar. Because if you need a running back all of a sudden, at least you know he's getting touches. Patrick Taylor, we're watching Isaac Rondo. Isaac Rondo's banged up. They're trying to sound like it's going to look good, but again, it's a Thursday game, so he may not be out there. We're watching the news, but Patrick Taylor's a huge pickup right now as a wait-and-see type of dude. And if it's not in the cards, you just drop him. Honestly, if Isaac Rondo's back looking healthy on Thursday, then you just drop him. So, waiver wire priority, I would not go balls out. But I would also watch Isaac Rondo like a hawk today in the news, which I don't see much news rolling out on a Tuesday. That's more like Wednesday, Thursday, but it's a Thursday game. So you might get a little bit more. I'd watch that like a hawk, and really depends on when your waiver wire rolls. A lot rolls on Tuesday, some rolls on Wednesday. I can tell by the views on these videos and the interactions I get throughout the week. Patrick Taylor, though, is a pickup a lot of people are looking at. It's an unknown guy. It's an unknown guy. We do not know what the volume's going to look like, but looks like he's going to get a little something. 20 snaps last week at 32.8% and a 25% opportunity share. Patrick Taylor is going to get that work. He's been in the offense. Isiah is a guy to think about in deeper leagues. deeper leagues. If Isaac Garando is actually going to be out for a bit, Izzy's a guy to think about as a dart throw, not a must get, but a dart throw pickup. Kendre Miller is back. He got some touches. He ran on 18 snaps, 26.5% snap share, 10 carries, 32 yards, and a touchdown. We got the touchdown. Nothing really grandiose there, but we got that work and we got opportunity. Maybe get some work down the stretch. Maybe get some opportunity. Maybe they explore him. They have not really got the chance to use him because he's been hurt so much. He's a guy to pick up to see what happens. And also, if you have Alvin Kamara, getting Kendre Miller is just a good guy to get right now, considering he's getting the workload. He could be that insurance policy for you. And another handcuff stash lottery ticket running back that we're looking at. We just keep getting more, which isn't a bad thing, but it's also a head scratcher week to week. Kenneth Gainwell, I like him because this Eagles offensive line is getting a good push up front. Saquon Barkley is looking good. But injuries are injuries. It could happen to any running back in the National Football League. And if I got Saquon Barkley and if I got a roster spot, if I got a wide receiver I can drop, Kenneth Gainwell is a good insurance policy. If I'm looking for a lottery ticket running back, I'm looking at a team that can move the football here, that has a running back on the roster that does have an injury history and that is getting a fair amount of touches, that has a good offensive line, and a running back here that can be productive enough in short spurts. Kenneth Gainwell is a good lottery ticket on his own, naked without Saquon Barkley. Kimani Vidal, 32 snaps, 53% opportunity share against the Chiefs, 8 carries, 34 yards, 1 target. Nothing crazy here. We got Tampa Bay coming up, Denver coming up. So we do have a bad matchup mixed in there. He's not a must pick up. He's a lottery ticket. And if I have Gus, if I want some piece of this offense, if I want an upside play just in case, or an upside play that's getting touches that I do not want started against me in the playoffs, maybe that's the strategy with that. He's not a must pick up right now. We're not getting enough volume. We're not getting the right matchups. That Tampa Bay matchup's a little bit concerning because it's not like the Chiefs or Broncos. He does have a rough patch, but we're out of the Chiefs game going into that Broncos game, and the Patriots games on the roads are always weird ones. Kimani Vidal, though, explosive player, but the lottery ticket stash is winding down. Alexander Mattison, watch his health, watch and see if he's back, watch the injury reports. Not a must pick up or anything like that, but could be very frustrating to Sincere McCormick if he comes back sooner than later. Just watch him, watch the injury news. Ameer Abdullah, if you're looking for targets and snaps out of the backfield, he can be productive. It's not guaranteed, but he can be productive. He can get work in the passing game, work up the gut, because the Raiders are in weird game scripts. These running backs have been banged up and hurt. He's a 1B back catching the ball in the backfield with Sincere McCormick out there. Although the work rate is lowering right now, decreasing, probably the right wordage for that, but still another running back to monitor. More for deeper leagues right now. It's not like you're going to go all in on Raiders running backs. Chris Rodriquez is a quiet hitter right now. He's got a small sample of production here. We're going up against the Saints, Eagles, and Falcons coming up. Cowboys if you got a Week 18 championship game. He's the guy to monitor because the workload was pretty hefty in Week 13. 13 carries, 94 yards, and a touchdown. We're watching this backfield. He could be fantasy relevant going forward. Jeremy McNichols was also getting work in this backfield. Rodriguez just happened to take advantage of his. And also, Jeremy McNichols didn't have a bad yards per carry and wasn't that bad on the field either. And it might be a nasty three-headed monster going forward for the rest of this season, considering this team likes to use multiple running backs. Trey Benson, back up to James Conner. If James Conner goes down, you're going to want Trey Benson. He's electric. He's smooth out there. He's a quiet hitter when he's on the field. Not much work because James Conner's good. We got some good matchups here in the playoffs. If I got James Conner, I'm handcuffing. If I got a spot, I'm lottery ticking. Tyler Allgeier is the handcuff to Bijan Robinson. He's a good lottery ticket play because if Bijan Robinson goes down, easy 20-plus opportunities in this offense. The Falcons can be explosive. Not always, but can be explosive. But it'll get work around the red zone, work up the gut, something to look at, a good insurance piece for your team. Jaylen Warren, if you're looking for touches for the now, not guaranteed for fantasy production, but he will get about 4 to 5 targets a game, which is very good for a 1B running back, and he'll get a handful of carries a game, somewhere between 5 to 10. That being said, he could cross the goal line, could be a good lottery ticket in your lineup week to week. If you're hurting at the running back position, Ray Davis. a good handcuff to James Cook, a running back we know, if thrusted into the starting role, will give you good production and has potential for that. The matchups aren't great coming up, but again, solid running back here for volume and opportunity, and we'll get standalone volume too in some of these matchups. It's off and on, but again, a lottery ticket plus due to that. Jaylen Wright is a shotgun running back. We're starting to get a little bit more work out of the backfield. Not much, but a little bit. We're getting these little tiny clues going forward. Not great matchups going forward, but if something happens to HN, he's up next. If they decide in a game randomly to use him, because that could potentially happen down the stretch, he's going to be a big guy that could strike gold if he sees green in front of him. Jaylen Wright's got that 4.3 speed electric burst. Hard to stash. If I have HN, I want him. Definitely for sure. If I have a spot for a lottery ticket, sure. Blake Corum, if I have Kyron Williams, he's stashed. He's there. Outside of that, if I got spot to stash, cool. Because I should not be hoarding wide receivers right now. Because unless I can start them, or I'm really thinking hard about starting them, they should be gone. And I should be getting some of these lottery ticket running backs just in case some of these starting running backs get banged up at the end of the season. Because a lot of them have not been banged up yet. And usually we get more. So maybe that happens at the back end of the season. Or maybe more next year. I don't know. Or not at all. But again, that insurance policy is good. He does have some upside in his offensive thrust into the opportunity. A guy to stash, a guy to handcuff. Antonio Gibson, if you're looking for work any way, shape, or form, he is getting more snaps, more opportunity in this offense. I'm not going to count on it for fantasy production, but if you need work, touches, routes, snaps, here's another option for you. Cam Akers is just a handcuff to Aaron Jones. He is getting some standalone work that could volume into fantasy production randomly, but I would not count on it. But a good handcuff to Aaron Jones, a guy to stash if you're interested in that. This team's going to go deep into the season, trying to push the ball, push the pace. Cam Akers could be the guy to look at here in the back end of the season. Jaleel McLaughlin's getting work right now. He gets work in the passing game. Bo Nix is moving the football. If you're looking for a running back that's getting opportunities on the field, sure, Jaleel McLaughlin could be a patch-up piece for you with the carries and targets out of the backfield, but he's not going to be trusted or consistent when it comes to fantasy production. But those are the running backs going into Week 15. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.